In this example, we have binomials in the denominators of both of these expressions. So my first step before finding the LCD is to factor those denominators. We never want to find the LCD before factoring the denominators. You'll end up most likely with an LCD that's too big if you leave your denominators unfactored. So looking at these, my first one is z squared minus 9, which is a difference of squares. That factors as z plus 3, z minus 3. And my second denominator is just the polynomial z minus 3. It really doesn't factor. So putting these together, my LCD would take the factor z plus 3, which appears only in one denominator, and the factor z minus 3, which appears in both. But we would not square the factor z minus 3 because it doesn't appear anywhere to the power 2. The fact that it appears in two different denominators does not cause us to multiply those together and write it as z minus 3 squared. So now we are ready to rewrite this expression. My first rational term is 3z over z plus 3, z minus 3. We want to leave this denominator factored when we proceed. And we can see that this one already has the LCD, so we don't really have to modify it at all. Whereas my second rational term, 2 over z minus 3, is missing the factor z plus 3 from its denominator. So this is the one that I do need to build up, and I want a factor of z plus 3 in the denominator. Therefore, I have to also multiply the numerator by z plus 3. So in my next step, I can see that I now have common denominators. In my next step, I'm ready to go ahead and subtract the numerators. And I recommend not doing any simplifying or distributing, anything like that during this step. All we're going to do is write the two expressions, the subtraction of polynomials in the numerator. So we have a minus, we have a 2 times z plus 3, and we'll save all the simplifying for the next step. We tend to follow these rules a whole lot better when the expression is written all in one line instead of this minus sign being kind of between two rational expressions like this. We want to make sure the sign and the 2 both get distributed into that z plus 3 in parentheses. In the denominator, I'm just going to write LCD as a little shortcut. That way I won't forget that it's there. We definitely don't want to lose that LCD, but it's a little quicker than writing out the whole factors every time. So now at this stage, I am ready to distribute, and I'm going to take the sign with the 2 as I distribute into parentheses. So that what I end up with here is 3z minus 2z minus 6 in the numerator, and we still have the LCD in the denominator. Now all I do is combine like terms, and 3z minus 2z can be combined to give me z. I still have the minus 6 in the numerator, and right now is a good time to go back to the actual expression that the LCD represents instead of just writing the letters LCD. So I'm going to put in my z plus 3, z minus 3. At the very end, it's always good to check for common factors to see if it's possible to simplify and reduce this expression at all. But in this case, we have no common factors, and therefore this is done.